After France got battered at Dien Bien Phu in 1954, Vietnam was split down the middle. Ho Chi Minh ruled the north, some Catholic bloke named Diem took the south, and everything was meant to be temporary. Elections were meant to reunify the country in 1956. That never happened. America blocked it because they knew Ho Chi Minh would win. Full stop. Instead, Eisenhower pumped billions into the South. 80% went straight to weapons. They weren't building an economy, they were building a military to contain communism. The domino theory was gospel. If Vietnam fell, so would Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Burma, maybe even Australia. That's what they genuinely believed. But here's the problem nobody talks about. Diem wasn't a Democrat. He was a Catholic running a Buddhist country, and his government was corrupt from day one. When he won a referendum in 1955 with 98.91% of the vote, Washington eyebrows went up. But he was anti-communist, so they looked the other way. By 1959, Diem was arresting 25,000 suspected communists. He wasn't building legitimacy, he was building a police state. The Americans didn't care. Kennedy took office in 1961 and sent more military advisors. By 1962, there were 11,300 of them. That's 10 times more than under Eisenhower. Officially, they weren't combat troops. Unofficially, they were flying helicopters, going on patrols, and people were dying. Then comes August 1964. The USS Maddox, an American destroyer, gets hit, or so the Navy says, in the Gulf of Tonkin. The first attack probably happened. The second one, it almost certainly didn't. The radar was dodgy, visibility was rubbish, and the crew was spooked. But McNamara, Defense Secretary, knew this. He told Congress the destroyer was on a simple patrol. He didn't mention the CIA operations happening in the same area. Congress voted to give Johnson a blank check to wage war. That's how it started. By March 1965, American Marines landed at Da Nang. Operation Rolling Thunder began bombing North Vietnam. Then came 50,000 troops. Westmoreland, the American commander, had one strategy: find M, fix M, finish M, search and destroy. Body counts became everything. If it was dead in Vietnamese, it was Viet Cong. The Pentagon later admitted they inflated figures by double. One American officer said it bluntly: if it's dead in Vietnamese, it's VC. But the Viet Cong weren't breaking. They adapted. Mines, booby traps, ambushes, they were fighting smart. A Viet Cong soldier carried 5 kilos of gear. An American carried 40. The VC could blend into villages. They knew the terrain. They had patience. By 1967, it was a stalemate. Westmoreland was claiming progress, but the war wasn't moving. North Vietnam was suffering, sure, but they could replace losses. And they had something America didn't: a population ready to die for unification. An American soldier put it bluntly: you go out on patrol maybe 20 times, then the 21st time zap, you get hit, and the VC disappears into the jungle before you can do anything about it. Then, January 1968, Tet Offensive. Around 84,000 North Vietnamese troops attacked across the country simultaneously. They hit Saigon, they hit military bases, they hit everywhere. It was meant to topple the South Vietnamese government. It didn't. Within days, American and South Vietnamese forces had pushed them back everywhere. By the numbers, it was an American victory. But here's where it gets interesting. The American public saw Tet on their telly. They saw that after 3 years of being told we're winning, the enemy could still stage a nationwide offensive. Walter Cronkite, the most trusted man in America, said on air, "What the hell is going on? I thought we were winning." Half of America suddenly believed the war was a mistake. That's when it changed. Not because of battlefield defeats, because of political defeat at home. Westmoreland was replaced. Johnson announced he wouldn't run for re-election. By March, bombing of North Vietnam stopped. Nixon won the election, promising peace with honor. It took 4 more years of fighting, another offensive in 1972, and secret bombing campaigns in Cambodia and Laos before the Paris Peace Accords were signed in January 1973. The agreement let North Vietnamese troops stay in the South. That's the bit nobody mentions. America promised to defend South Vietnam if they attacked, but Congress wasn't having it. Funding dried up. In 1975, the North launched one final offensive. The South collapsed in weeks. 400,000 South Vietnamese civilians died. 3 million Vietnamese overall. 58,000 Americans. millions displaced, and it ended with North Vietnamese tanks rolling through Saigon's presidential palace. So what went wrong? America lost because it believed firepower could win a war that was fundamentally political. The Viet Cong represented something: Vietnamese unity and independence. Diem represented American interest. When your entire strategy depends on kill counts and artillery, and the enemy is willing to take casualties forever, you've already lost. You just don't know it yet. Westmoreland won every battle and lost the war. America thought they could engineer a nation that didn't want to be engineered. That's the real failure. Subscribe to the channel to get all the new content, and share the video if you think it could help someone else to understand what actually happened in Vietnam.